right, it's time to take a look at our tale of the tape, brought to you by Miller Lite. Taste you can depend on. We're expecting a lot of fireworks from here. The 2-year age advantage goes to Penafiel. The 2-inch height advantage goes to Steele. 3-inch weight advantage for Penafiel, and a few 5 inches in the reach category to Ricky Steele. So it's either one category to one fighter, one category to the other. A lot of experience on both sides. Is that week notice, that 1 week notice, who is that going to play to? Will it be Joe Penafiel or will it be Ricky Steele? We are about to find out as we go inside the cage with cage announcer Britt Salbert.
Fight fans, it is time! Here we go! This fight is scheduled for 5 5-minute rounds. It is our main event of the night. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. With a record of 10 victories against just 4 defeats, standing in at 5 feet 8 inches tall, weighing in at 138 pounds. Fighting out of Orlando, Florida, representing Fusion Excel Performance. Please welcome Joe, the Party, Penafiel. His opponent fighting out of the red corner with a record of 7 wins against just 2 defeats, standing in at 5 feet 10 inches pounds, weighing 135 pounds, fighting out of Boise, Idaho. Please welcome Ricky, the Karate Kid, Steele. When the action begins, our official tonight will be Tom Subnet, who will now give fighter instructions.
All right, guys. Follow my instructions at all times. Defend yourself at all times. Let's keep it clean and make it exciting. Touch them up.
Fight fans, are you ready? Time for a downtown throwdown.
It is time for the main event for Front Street Fights 25, presented by ProjectFilter.org. This is the fight you've been waiting for, and it is on. They don't call him the Karate Kid for nothing. Steele throwing a couple early kicks. Both men just staring at daggers into one another. You saw a couple of brief smiles there from Penafiel. Ricky displaying, again, that Karate Kid spin attempt kick. Penafiel throwing it right back in his face. A 1-2 into a leg kick. Another leg kick by Steele.
Steele's looking sharp right out the gate. Hasn't missed on that body kick. Leg kicks are quick. He's on it.
Not sure he's even blinked once.
Throwing really good kicks from Ricky Steele. He's got to be careful not to land with his foot and focus on landing with the shin so he can do the damage. The foot's just not going to do the damage that Ricky needs to do. He does come to us with that 4th degree Kaishinkan black belt, which teaches striking like this, but he needs to land with the impact of those shins.
Penafiel showing that confidence. Maybe some take it as cockiness. You see some shoulder shrugs. He gets the come on as Ricky throws a good left, looking for another outside leg kick. Again, I'm not sure Ricky's even blinked once.
No, he seems relatively unfazed by all the bravado that Penafiel's showing.
Stoic to the core.
Ricky able to get a couple lefts and rights in there. Inside a leg kick. Again, laser focused on his opponent, working the legs, again, weakening the base. We saw it in the last fight. When your base is weakened, that could take out a lot of your game.
Yeah, Ricky Steele, all those karate blitzes, those are working real well in his favor. He's controlling the cage good. He's moving on the outside good. And Penafiel looks a little lost in there.
Good right from Steele. Just about halfway through round number 1. Steele doing a good job of getting the leg down, followed up by left and right combination.
You know, Penafiel is doing something interesting. He keeps switching stances. I'm anxious to see if this is part of his offensive strategy or if those leg kicks are really taking effect.
One thing from Penafiel that we've noticed is he's willing to stand in there and take a couple to get to one. You just saw it right there. Took a couple good shots from Steele, but was able to give one back to him.
Yeah, absolutely. And Ricky's got to watch out for that because he's throwing some of these blitzes and his chin staying high, which is anything about boxing and fighting. It's keep that chin tucked.
Another left-right combination landing hard on Penafiel.
But he is looking sharp in there. He's not missing. He's on fire right now. He's looking great.
Ooh, you saw a little unsuredness from Penafiel, but again, right back into it. Has a split second of maybe self-doubt, but right back into it. Spinning heel kick attempt by Penafiel. Good block by, thrown by Steele, blocked by Penafiel.
Ricky's doing an excellent job measuring these punches and being very calculated. He's not wasting any energy on punches that aren't there. He's picking and choosing his combinations. Brilliant work by Ricky.
Is it something maybe that, Penafiel, knowing he's coming into enemy territory on literally a week's notice to the day, that bravado, is he using that as a part of his game plan to maybe sucker in Steele to fighting the way he wants to fight?
I think it's that, and he's also trying to tell himself those same things. He's trying to tell himself that those kicks and punches aren't hurting him, but as you can see from his body and little swelling on his eye, he's feeling every one of these.
Steele very slow and methodical with the kicks, sets up a good high kick. Penafiel blocking that last fury of left and rights. Good stiff right to that swelling left eye by Steele. Again, a kick left-right combination we've seen so many times in this first round as we come up to the final 30 seconds of our main event of Front Street Fight 25, presented by ProjectFilter.org. A little gamesmanship being displayed by both competitors in this final 10 seconds. Round number one comes to a start. A little bit of talk, and Penafiel, he's working it. He is playing that villain role. How did you see this first round shake out, Vince?
That was Ricky Steele at his finest, I think. I think he's received a lot of criticism in the past for kind of laying on his back foot and not really having a high output. That was completely the opposite. Everything was combinations. Everything looked powerful. Looked like he was trying to hurt the dude. I loved it.
As we go to the Project Filter replay, it was that aggression by Steele displayed throughout the first round. The patience, the poise, the confidence, the calculation that we saw from Steele. Again, not to take anything away from Penafiel, we saw a few flurries from him, but again, it's that steady, that patience, that calculation that Steele displayed in that first round.
Ricky clearly had a plan. He measured the distance. He threw exactly what he wanted to, and again, he didn't waste any energy.
No energy wasted, no wasted motion. Both men, again, back to staring daggers into each other. Referee Tom Subnet having some words with Penafiel. Again, that cockiness, that confidence, that bravado being displayed by Penafiel as we go into round number two. Referee Tom Subnet gives the signal, and we are underway. What's the biggest change we need to see from Penafiel in round number two?
If I'm his corner, I'm telling him to close distance and get in boxing rank. There's two reasons why. One, Ricky has a ton of success with the kicks, and I'm absorbing a lot of damage. However, with the punches, we saw some flurries from Ricky. It was good output, but there's not a ton of damage.
Good right-left combination from Steele. Knocks Penafiel back into the cage, but again, he is right back up.
Yeah, this is more Ricky Steele. This is nice. This
Good fake out by Steele.
There's no adjustment from Penafiel.
Penafiel doing what you said, Cameron, closing the distance, getting Ricky pressed up against the cage. Maybe this is the point where he gets to kind of figure him out a little bit.
Absolutely. He's taken away a lot of his weapons. He's taken away his distance. He's taken away his range. He's taken away his footwork. And most importantly, those dang kicks.
What's the goal for each fighter in this moment as we come away from the cage? A couple of knees by Penafiel, by Steele, that is. Gets a knee, a kick to the ribs, a front kick, and it's right back to Steele's game.
That was exactly how Ricky Steele should have approached that. He separated, got his hips away, he landed some punches on the break. That was beautiful.
Now, you've seen a lot of different things in the first round, early on in the second round. What are some more adjustments when you see Penafiel as he lands a left there?
I'd be looking to counter-strike. First of all, keep your hands up. Stop showboating with your hands at your waist. We need to be able to
overhand left by Steele. And again, you mentioned to keep the hands up, chin down. You just saw him do the opposite of both there.
Not a wise strategy. I have to wonder if the damage is accumulating, the weight cut's affecting him, or his strategy is just falling apart, being unfamiliar with Ricky's style.
2 rights. And again, you guys both mentioned it. Penafiel needs to close the distance, but we notice a couple of subtle front kicks there by Steele, opening that distance back up, getting him back to where he is comfortable.
Also gets Penafiel like a little hesitant on those level changes while he's coming forward. There's something coming up the middle that can be dangerous.
Left, right leg. Again, a combination we've seen many times from Steele throughout this fight. What's the shortest notice you've ever taken a fight, Vince?
I had 10 days. It was my shortest.
When you get in there, now that's obviously a little over a week, by 3 days, if we're doing the exact math. Good double leg takedown into a front guillotine. He's got it locked in. Is that the one? Does he have the arm under the chin? Can Penafiel fight out of this? Ricky gives it up, goes for back position, trying to lock it in. Again, Penafiel doing all he can do to spin out of this. Gets Steele pressed up against the cage. Impressive combination by Steele. Even more impressive for Penafiel to weather that storm and keep himself in this fight.
That was great. What an excellent scramble that was. Both these guys obviously have a high level of experience in the grappling department.
As time goes on, Penafiel, he's getting in there, but he also seems to be sitting back a little bit. You have a week to study your opponent. Is he studying his opponent on the fly right now?
He has to, and especially one unique thing that Ricky brings is that karate style. And the reason why it's so unique is not only because it's effective, but because it's such a different look than you've ever seen. Nobody else in the gym fights like this. None of your training partners, none of your opponents. So this adaptation process for Penafiel is at a 10 right now.
Both men kind of just taking it slow. Ricky, a very concentrated look on his face right now.
Right there, he's got to use that right arm to get that underhook, which he does. That was great.
Steele gets a couple knees in there, an uppercut, another knee. An elbow from Penafiel. Both men doing what they can in close quarters. How hard is it now that the distance is closed? You don't have a lot of room to work with.
No, it's a completely different fight now. Being in that tight, you're looking for now your short range weapons come into play. Those elbows, those knees up the middle, which Ricky seems to be doing all that real well. He's obviously well-rounded.
Steele where he can, exploring the face of Penafiel with his right fist. Throws a little shoulder to the chin, another shoulder to the chin. Final 10 seconds of round number 2. And a fight that has completely changed styles, slower the pace, close quarter, shoulder, left, right from Steele as round number 2 comes to an end. Penafiel living up that villain role right now. Round number 2, very interesting, very stylistic change. We went from the distance to close quarter combat. How quick did that fight change, and how often do fights tend to change like that?
This is MMA. Anything, it can change at any point. But what didn't change is Ricky's still in command of the fight. Doesn't matter if it's at distance or in tight. He's doing all the right things right now.
As we take a look at the Project Filter replay, that combo by Steele throwing, again, we've seen a lot of his combinations tonight, either left-right kick or kick into a left-right. And then where the fight changed was on the takeout, both men scrambling for position here, as you see right now.
Absolutely, and if I'm Ricky Steele, I have a lot of confidence from this Darce attempt. We had some mistakes, but that's okay. We're going to capitalize on it. I know that if it goes to the ground, I'm in good shape. I don't need to keep it standing. I still would, but I know that that weapon is there.
We are coming up to our third and final round of our main event of Front Street Fights 25. Joe Penafiel from Orlando, Florida. Ricky Steele from right here in Boise, Idaho. Who is going to get the victory, and how will that victory come about? As the third and final round opens up again, it's that distance game that Steele prefers, keeping him to where he can use that kick, set up those combinations. Penafiel, spinning heel kick. Ricky loves that move, tries to throw it again, follows up with an overhand left. What is the biggest goal for Penafiel in the third and final round? Obviously, finish the fight, win the fight. How does he do that in this third and final round?
I'd revert back to boxing. I would close the distance. I'd get about one step closer to Ricky here. He needs to cut off the cage. Ricky does a great job using all the real estate he can with his circular and angular movement. Penafiel needs to cut him off by matching some of those angles and cutting him off with straight footwork.
One thing that Ricky does very well to control all that range is he switch stances on the fly. You can see he keeps on the overhand left, he'll switch to orthodox. Goes the overhand right, he switches back to southpaw. It's pretty impressive.
Now, one thing you got to say about Penafiel is you've seen the combinations from Steele. It seems, again, adaptation is key. His defense has been getting better as Steele goes for that spinning heel kick again. Doesn't land it. Penafiel's been doing a really good job of blocking some of these flurries from Steele as he lands a right on him.
Yeah, and now he's adjusting again. He's trying to change levels. He's trying to get underneath him. He's trying to get him down so that he can do something significant. Because right now, he really needs to do something big in order to win this fight.
Again, it is not up to us to decide who wins the fight, but seemingly I think we'd all be in agreement at this point as the crowd starts chanting, "Let's go, Ricky." Penafiel, it seems at this point, has to finish the fight. Not go the distance. He's got to finish the fight. He's got to knock out and or submit Steele. Is that a fair assumption at this point?
100%. If he's got anything else in his mind other than he lost those first 2 rounds, he's got to change the way he's thinking.
If you're in his corner knowing he's at that disadvantage and you're across the cage from him, how are you getting your instructions to him? What are you instructing him with?
I'm instructing him to do exactly what he just did. The reason that they got to this predicament here is Penafiel used his footwork to cut off the cage. He gave Ricky no options to move laterally or circularly, and he cut him off. Now he can get his hands around him, and we can at least start to implement some sort of attempt at a grappling. I'm losing the striking. I need to switch the game plan up. You mentioned adaptation earlier. That's a critical element here.
Good elbow there from Penafiel. Another left, another kick. Gets a heel kick in, albeit not spinning, is Steele. 2 minutes, 10 seconds left in our main event. Good right from Steele. The bravado being shown by Penafiel. Yeah, you hit me, but bring it on. Give me more.
That's exactly what he wants him to do. He wants him to overcommit. He wants Ricky to put himself in a bad position because right now that's probably the only way he's thinking that he can get something big off to win the fight.
Steele again going for the spinning heel kick, getting a little piece of the cheek of Penafiel. Good right there by Penafiel. But again, Steele not panicking. Gets an elbow to the back of the head, at least from our advantage. 90 seconds left in what has been a very exciting fight. We've seen different styles, different approaches, great offense, great defense. We're coming up on 60 seconds left, gentlemen. What's the final key to this last 60 seconds?
Ricky's got, just to seal the deal, Ricky's got to get his back off the cage and get back to doing what he was doing. For Penafiel, he needs something big.
He's got to get a takedown. The takedown is going to be a difference maker. It might not be enough, but it's going to be enough to get him a start and then continue to advance position from there.
You said takedown. He gets a takedown, gains back position on Steele. Steele remaining calm, cool, and collected.
If I'm in Penafiel's corner, I'm telling him to extend that leg he has hooked and use what's called a broomstick sweep to take Ricky down.
30 seconds left. Steele flips positions, backs Penafiel up to the cage. 15 seconds left in the main event. You hear the crowd starting to come alive for Ricky the Karate Kid Steele. Did he do enough to secure the victory with a takedown in the final 10 seconds? That may be all he needed to sway the judges. Gets a final left, a couple of elbows, one a late punch right at the buzzer there. Both men hugging it out. We saw the fireworks from the weigh-ins. Wow. We saw the issues between the two in the fight. At the end of the night, sportsmanship displayed. What an incredible main event here tonight.
Yeah, that was amazing. I think Ricky did exactly what he needed to throughout. That was very impressive. Shout out to Penafiel for coming over here on a week's notice and putting on a fight like that. That was great.
You know, I got to tell you again, Vince, you said it right there. Penafiel wanted to come to Boise from Orlando, give the fans what they wanted on 1 week notice. Didn't mind being the villain. He played that villain role as we go to the Project Filter replay. That hard right punch from Steele where it kind of knocked him but said, give me some more. Penafiel trying for a little bit of offense, but again, we said it. He wanted to give the fans what he wanted. We know how impressive Ricky is. We have seen Ricky multiple times. This is the first time we're seeing Penafiel. You got to give it up for him for going 3 rounds, standing in there toe-to-toe with Ricky Steele.
Absolutely. He was just on the wrong side of Ricky, never deviating from the plan that he established, which was own the real estate, strike from distance, and accumulate that damage throughout the fight. It's what Ricky does. It's what he did extremely well here. Credit to Penafiel for continuing to make it an exciting fight, and honestly, that personality shining through kept it interesting, kept you wondering if he was going to come back and rally. He never showed that he was mentally damaged at any point.
Now, you got to love to see that, the gamesmanship that we saw during weigh-ins, the gamesmanship we saw from Penafiel throughout the fight. But at the end of the day, you know, you both are in there doing what you love to do. A lot of respect being shown between both fighters right now.
100%, and this is what fighting is all about. As much as we all love the shoving and the arguments and the little bit of drama that goes into it, we're still martial artists at the end of the day, and if we can embrace ourselves after a hard-fought battle, I mean, that's what it's all about.
Couple of final decisions being made here by the judges. We have the scorecard in there. How did the judges see this one? Let's go back inside the cage to get our final decision of the night with cage announcer Britt Talbert.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we go to the judges' scorecard, I know you were entertained tonight, and I want to give a shout out to Joe Penafiel. He took this fight on a week's notice, flew out here from Orlando, Florida. Want to give him some love for coming out to entertain us tonight. We will move to the judges' scorecard. Judge Mike Michelson scores this bout 30-25. Judge Tim Turner scores this bout 30-27. Judge Aaron Willing also scores this bout 30-27. For your winner, by unanimous decision, fighting out of the red corner, the Karate Kid, Ricky Steele! Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise here for Joe Penafiel coming out here tonight and entertaining us. All right, Ricky. It's been a while since we've seen you here. You've been on to some bigger things. You're back to entertain the locals. You got a guy that takes a fight on a week's notice. How did it play out for you?
Idaho, what's up? You guys make this truly an experience that I can't even put words to. Nothing is better than fighting here at my home in front of you guys. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Seriously, my opponent taking his toughest fight in 1 week notice, that's a gangster right there. Thank you, brother.
All right, Ricky, you got to tell everybody here they want to know what's next for the Karate Kid.
Strap a rocket to my back because we're going to the moon, baby. Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, Ricky Steele.